Pensaar, which is a design consulting and strategy firm looking to really create awesome experiences for customers.
When you're thinking of spreading the awareness on design thinking, one of the best ways to disseminate this to a larger audience was through a summit. And we were very conscious right from the beginning that we didn't want to do the conventional summits and conferences where a bunch of people, the so-called experts, come and give gyan and walk away. We wanted to give people a very hands-on and immersive experience about design thinking.
So we started off with something that I feel is really, really important, falling in love with the customer problem versus the solution. I think so many of us are genetically engineered to solve problems, so we right away see that we can do something and we fall in love with the solution. So the first day was all about showing that restraint to really understand your customers, what we call customer empathy. So it started off with understanding customers better. The Pensaar team had done work ahead of time to do some research, bring some insights from customers that they then internalized. Often many people go off and talk to customers, but they're not sure how to get those actionable insights that will then inspire innovation. So we focused on using tools like the empathy map that help you get to big ahas or insights that will then inspire innovation. But we didn't stop there. We thought it was really important to articulate the problem statement. What is the problem that you're solving?
So currently we're trying to build an empathy map. So we're taking specific quotes that we've got from videos, from audio clips, and from quote cards, and we're trying to figure out what those people, the people who are saying them, what they might be thinking, feeling, what they were doing at the time, to sort of come to some conclusions about the overall problem that we're trying to solve.
So right now we are actually evolving our product statement. So we have our problem statement, and then we are trying to evaluate the core customer benefits.
What we want you to do now is take that inspiration and sit as a team and decide two things. One, do you want to modify your problem statement or your benefit metrics? And two, talk to customers.
I think it changed my perspectives on a lot of things. One thing that I completely picked up from yesterday was that I thought I could empathize with the person I'm talking to, the customer in this particular instance, or just anyone. But there's just so much more to it than what meets the eye.
So day 2 was all about ideation, the step that we call dream in our design thinking process. Day 1, we had identified the problem and we knew what success would look like. Day 2 was coming up with ideas then that met the brief. The excitement was through the roof. I think we're all genetically engineered to solve problems, and this was, the energy was just really through the roof. research looking at about 15 profiles, a journey line, a video, and audio, and took that to create insights from using the empathy map tool. Came up with 2 to 3 insights per team, created a problem statement, defined your customer benefit metrics. Why would people use your solution over the others? And there was some fun about counting rodents and things like that too. And then finally, you started, defining your how might we, or your creative question. That's a lot to get done in one day. The key thing there, though, was not just to brainstorm, because what happens when you brainstorm is the loudest voice gets heard, the quietest person, perhaps with the most out-of-box idea, gets completely ignored. And so we have tools and techniques to think independently, together, and really build on ideas. Putting 2 ideas, combining them, or building on ideas. That's pretty much what we did the second day. We also got input from customers and experts, where they co-created with teams to then build solutions that teams individually wouldn't have done.
So right now we did this really cool activity called the World Cafe, where we were in different teams and we had to move from one team to another and build on ideas that they already had for our problem statement, and then keep moving to other teams. I loved the World Cafe idea because it was pretty cool.
And on this day, we basically went broad, tried multiple ideas. We then narrowed down using a 2x2 tool, and then went broad again. And we kept doing this till we knew we had arrived on solutions that truly met the brief of the problem statement. Day 3 was about running rapid experiments on the key assumptions we were making for our ideas. You're upping your chances of success when you try to understand customers, you go beyond what's immediately possible, and push the thinking so you create those delightful experiences. This wheel of learn, build, measure is really, really important. You never stop learning, you never stop building, you never stop measuring. Lalita talked about a 35-year-old product or 30-year-old product. They do that every single day. It is about the people and the mindset that you walk in. My hope is that we've been able to infect you guys with some of our craziness around design thinking, but it's for you individually to decide which way you want to go. And possibilities, just to really give us ourselves the permission to think beyond what's right away possible and come up with disruptive ideas, because which one of us doesn't want to be a part of that? Whoa, look at that idea these guys did, right? So that really is design thinking for us.
What is happening here right now is total disruption, because we thought we had that solution after a lot of deliberations, talking to the experts, talking to the customers and all that. Before that, we thought that we have the solution. Customers, not the customers really, but the experts came in and totally threw us off balance. So we thought of another solution.
What are some assumptions which, if not held true, your entire idea falls on it, flat on its face? Those were the things we wanted to test. Testing with real behavior versus asking people if they would do something.
This is plastic and this is paper. So we're going to leave these boxes at overpay and explain to them why we're just going to tell them that they're boxes, and we're going to tell them the impact of segregating paper and plastic and observe what's going to happen.
The campus is just wet waste and dry waste. So
Right.
we do separate it.
Right.
We do not throw vice versa.
Right, right.
So if there's another segregation, we'll do it accordingly.
Right.
Initially, teams were a little reluctant to get going into the field. We literally had to push people out, design experiments that would test for real behavior. Once the teams got the hang of it, they came back completely energized and they couldn't believe what little they had to do to understand true behavior and to really test all of their assumptions.
And one of the really good insights we found was that the poorly designed bins are actually a deterrent for this, because it's fine to just place the bins and put some text on it, but unless you educate people about it, it's not really driving home the message. So that's one of the insights we found from this exercise.
Our hypothesis, people will change when they avail benefits. That's what we are trying to test. The first experiment was very simple. We went to Au Bon Pain and we had 2 dustbins, one inside, one outside. So what we did for the dustbin that was inside, we put up, there was no human intervention here. So we just sat there as observers. We put up a board that said, use the outside dustbin for a surprise. And we had indicators to where the outside dustbin was placed. So we had one team that was sitting observing what people would do when they come and see this board, and there was one team that was sitting outside to give away the surprise, which was a stick of jujubes, which they weren't aware of. So we had about 19 people who took part in the experiment, out of which 12 of them did not walk outside, and 7 of them took action, went out and put the dust into the outside dustbin.
You have an imaginary ball, okay? Use all your creativity in how you're going to throw it. What you have to do is, I throw my name at Vidya. Vidya catches my name and throws her name back, right? So at anybody, right? So I'm going to throw this imaginary ball. Vidya, Deepa.
Deepa, Vidya.
Vidya, Rajan.
Rajan, Alisha.
Alisha, Deepa.
Venkat.
One of the sentences made me rethink the whole thing that I'm doing right now, which made me basically change my career. I'm thinking on a new idea right now. Basically, I was forced into following a certain career because of people around me wanted to be happy with me. Okay? But this time, I just took a complete rethink of how I can be happy with my own career.
Wow.
So I basically changed.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
India is, I think, in a very interesting space. There's just a lot of energy and dynamism in the market, a lot of ideas that are emerging, a lot of entrepreneurs who've been inspired by other thought leaders that have come up, like such as Flipkart themselves. So I think it's in a very interesting space. So the key, I think, with something like design thinking, it helps these entrepreneurs and actually even new MNCs who are setting up shop here, right? To take it to a next level to say, how do I channelize these ideas, keep it more focused and apply some of these methodologies, tools or mindset changes, if you will, to help iterate fast and learn fast, and so that I can now get to a position where I can confidently launch my product.
For India to become product nation, we need to design great products. And for designing great products, we need a different kind of mindset, and design thinking mindset is one of them. And a design thinking summit like this is an early spark in changing that mindset for people to build great products and great companies so that we can have Google and Microsoft out of India.